Hey, how's everybody doing? I've had to change my streaming location. I'm now in my daughter's, both my daughter's office. So not as good at lighting, but we're going to make do as best we can. And maybe like midway through the show, this panel, I'll run to my other office where the lighting's better and I have a few more controls. Because yeah, look at that bright light. It's like a bomb's going off behind me. So I think I'm going to slide over here. So it's, well, nope, I'm going to get a halo no matter what. But my guest today is an inker or an artist with inky knuckles. That's why I was thinking the word ink. But and Stipan Morian. And let's see if I've got that right when I bring Stipan into here. How's it going?
Hi.
Did I do all right with that?
Yeah. It's okay. It's beautiful.
As
No
long as
problem.
it's not, as long as I didn't say anything, your mother or anything, I'm okay, right?
Yeah. Well, I've told you before when somebody called me Stipan, I did something wrong. It's probably my mother. Like what 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 did I do? You did good.
Well, I can only get better. There's room for improvement though. So what time is it where you're at? You're not in the United States, are you, Stefan? Where are you
So
located?
I'm in Croatia. It's 10 o'clock. Uh, my It's 10 o'clock. It's best time. It's the night is young.
You're just getting
Hello.
started, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I usually work night shift, because night at night it's a good time to draw. So this is good time, perfect time for me.
Good. Well, so tell me a bit about yourself as far as your career in comics or and art in general. I mean, when did you get the desire to become a comic book artist?
Career. it's
The tough
it's
questions.
it's not much of a career, I have this comic going on right now, a series in Image Comics with Deniz Camp and Aditya Bidikar,
Hmm.
and it's called 20th Century Man, and it's 3 episodes that are out. I have them here, because obviously I'm going to show. Oh, it's flipped. It's flipped. This is number one. This is number two. Oh, it's with this beautiful big spread, and this is number three. So we are having this series in Image Comics for it's the fourth episode is about to go out, and that's the career. That's everything. There is nothing before worth mentioning. You know, uh, uh, some little zines, and stuff that we do when we are young. But this is actually first comic, that is a
So
real thing.
so how did you get the job to work on 20th Century Men? Was that uh,
Job.
fate?
It's not a job. It's Dennis and me, and we go together. Oh, Cameron, uh, we go together for 10 years now. We know each other for 10 years. Well, I was doing something of mine, and I met him, and like 3 or 4 years ago, we decided that we are going to do something together, and he came up with 20th Century Man, and I think he tailored this thing for me because he knew what I like to draw, what I usually draw, so we offered our little idea to Image, and they were interested, and they asked to see a first episode, and they asked to see first 3 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it went, and it looks good now. It's 3 episodes out, and people like it. I think it's great thing. I'm very 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 satisfied with this. I'm very proud. Uh, you know, Working with Dennis, was a fantastic thing. The last couple of years we got to know each other. Uh, we spend enormous amount of time talking about what are we doing, what we're going to do, what are we saying, uh, what is a good comic,
Hmm.
how we should do this thing, so there is a lot of growth. You watch this thing, and it changes every few pages. I'm testing out everything. There is a digital pages. There's some pages that are huge, like drawn on the huge sheets of paper, and some pages are like this. I'm trying everything right now. Nothing is left for later. It's just two of us playing, and experimenting, and
I was just going to
it's
say, it sounds like you're doing a lot of experimental work here for yourself. I mean, just trying to feel your way through the stories and just to make things work right. So you're working very closely with them, with the
yeah.
writer while you're doing this, trying to flesh out the book. I mean, it seems like a long process, though. I mean, if you first started talking about it about 3 years ago to kind of get to where you're at right now, that's a lot of time to think about the story and how you were going to treat the characters in it. I mean, uh,
Yes.
how does it feel to finally, you were just holding the books, to finally have those books in print and in your hands?
Oh, it was it was crazy. I was waiting for that for 1 year, because 1 year before Image said, okay, we are going to print it in August next year. August next year. It's like, okay, 100 years from now, and I was like, okay. My throat is a little sore because I'm walking naked outside, and it's November, so I sound funny.
That's not, yeah, yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, it it was a long wait, The first episode I drew 3 years ago.
Hmm.
This one was done 3 years ago, and now I'm drawing the fifth. I'm finishing the fifth episode, and it's different, and it's better. We are. I think that we are just getting better and better. That's in. I didn't expect that, because at the moment when you were doing first episode, it was like the best that I could have that I ever did. Something the best that I ever did. And I was, and we, and how can I say this? We didn't really know each other. We started working, but I don't know how it's going to come together. The story and the image and everything. You know, and Dennis is wonderful. He knocked me out of my shoes with his writing, with episode 2 and with episode 3. He's just like, what's going on? I know you for 10 years. How how are you doing this? Because he's reinventing, reinventing himself, reinventing some stuff. um, I'm now I'm waiting for episode 4 to come out, and I know what he did with episode 4. um, he made one once. We are following a story from many different perspectives in the same time. So we hear lies and something that resembles the true, and some personal perspective on the things that we see.
Hmm.
I don't know that I've ever seen something like that. He's really brave and bold with stuff that he does, and it makes me try to do the
You want
same.
to you want to do the writing justice, basically, right? You
Yeah,
want to.
yeah.
Well, do you think
And
he would he say the same about you, that you must be surprising him too, right? He's kind of stepping out of maybe a comfort zone that he had, to write this incredible story. I mean, for you going into it, where you thought you would have, when you were getting started, I'm sure you're doing things that you wouldn't have expected, artistically, today versus where
yeah,
the project started, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that I've changed completely since we begin this project. I really didn't know uh, many things that I do now. And uh, we we spend so much time, talking about these things, and we know each other. We are really uh, brothers now. I and I know him. You know, I know the man. I know everything about his family, about his father, mother. And same thing with me. We are like a band now. You know, I know what's I don't know. I can't explain this. I didn't speak English for 1 month since New York City Comic Con. I was on New York City Comic Con, so
Oh,
it's
I didn't get to go this year. I really wanted to, but it did, I was in the middle of a move, so I couldn't do it. But no, I would have been awesome to have gotten to meet you in person and see some of your work there. Did you have a
it
good show?
it was many first times for me. I
Hmm.
was first time in America. I was first time in New York City. I was first time on Comic Con. I entered comic shop for the first time in my life. How is that for an image author?
So you're saying there are no comic shops in Croatia at all?
Well, there is something similar, but I must tell you something. I have to confess this. This format, floppy. I've seen first floppy in June this year.
So
Okay,
there are many firsts going on here. So,
okay. It was a. There is a little Comic Con in Zagreb, and I went there, and there was a guy who had a box of American comics, and I was like, let me see how does it look, because I have this thing coming, very soon.
well, that's
This,
how could you do the artwork without really having an understanding of a floppy at the end of the day? I mean, that's amazing that you kind of just dove into it, a true graphic novel approach, but it ends up, it's printed in a floppy format. That's interesting that you had never actually had one in your hands until just this summer.
people compliment my art because my art is like very carefully crafted, but that's we have different perspectives on comics, and you understand, we don't read the same comics, and when I read uh, American stuff, it usually comes in this format. This is
Oh, got it. Yeah, and a
this is
trader hardbound.
Capula, and Court of Owls, and it's I don't know, oversized, and we can see the art better,
Right.
because we just don't use this little format for almost anything. Okay, we use it for when I was a kid. We were all reading Italian comics,
Sure.
uh, and Italian comics are this small format,
Hmm.
black and white, and like one episode is like 60 pages or something like that. And but this is good.
But
This
that's what you're used to, right? So
yeah,
that's it's still interesting though that you were able to. I mean, you had to approach it as if you knew what you were going to expect from the finished product. I mean, a lot of artists that I talk to, they modify their style based on how they've seen their art printed before. But so you didn't even have that kind of going for you. You just had to go in and trust everything to work right because you had never seen your artwork printed in a floppy before, let alone held one before.
I'm ready to be printed oversized.
Hmm.
It can go bigger, no problem. I got it covered. The details are there. The line is good.
Hmm.
No problem. Uh,
So yeah, I know you
Well,
have some originals there. Can you show me some of the pieces that went, some
yeah,
of the you have
I
next
have
to it?
a, I have a, I have a, I have a bunch of stuff here because I really wanted to show you. First, I wanted to show you how experiments go. Experiment is okay. I'm a, I'm a, I must say, I'm a student of comics.
Mhm.
I'm really interested in comics. I love comics, and right now, what I'm trying to figure out is. What's the size of the paper that I feel comfortable with, you know,
Mhm.
because this traditional normal size is it's fine, but uh, every now and then I try to draw bigger pages. So I have one here. Uh, okay,
Oh my
why do-
gosh.
okay. This is one page from episode 5. This is huge.
Yeah, I mean that's much larger than traditional twice ups. I mean, what size do you think that is in inches? Like it looks like 16 by 28 or something. It's huge.
Oh,
Cam's
and
gonna have a hard time shipping that artwork when you sell it.
that's also new for me. Okay, this
Right.
is this
Got it.
comparison.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow. So you feel
well,
more comfortable. I've talked with artists who like working more in that size just because it captures their fluidity of a brush stroke or a pen stroke, and they prefer to work larger because when you start working smaller, you just start trying to finesse and work on the fine details, and a lot of artists can't work that way. So you're somebody who needs that space to work a little bit more gestural.
so I'm constantly falling in love with new artists.
Hmm.
And my latest fascination is Mac Raboy. Did I
Sure. Oh,
butcher his name? Did I say it good?
yeah, Macro Boy. Yeah.
Mac Raboy. and and I'm looking at those pages and I'm trying to realize how the drawing actually looks, how it looks live,
Hmm.
how big it's drawn. Oh, I had this moment at New York City Comic Con. First time in my life I saw Corbin pages, and I'm big Corbin fan,
Richard
and I've
Corbin.
seen Corbin pages, and that was like it was like a gift, all that huge knowledge was given to me because I finally saw what he did, and when I saw the pages, uh, everything is solved, everything is there,
Hmm.
obvious, easy to see.
Well,
Um,
Raboy is an amazing inker. I mean, the fine detail that he puts in his work is it's I don't know how he did it. What size brush he's using when he does some of that work because it's so meticulous and pristine. It's perfect. And and he was doing that 50 years ago or even longer. It's probably I'm not even sure what era he was working on those strips, but they're some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen.
yeah, yeah. What we constantly talk about, Dennis and me, is about story, about the ways to tell the story,
Hmm.
and okay, there is always a dilemma, Um, uh, okay, you have a page, and you need to compose the page, and I can make a page flashy. I can make tricks and panels of different proportions, and do all kind of tricks, and pull attention to my drawings. You know, make everybody look at the page and think about art. You know, or I can be restrained in a way let 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 the art serve the story. Be like invisible. Try to be invisible. To try to uh, push story to the front. And we're always talking about those things, and how we are going to tell this particular part, or what did we do good, how to solve something.
So do you find
So
yourself talking with the writer a lot to, working through some of the visuals and how you're approaching it, or do you just send him the page after you've gotten the script?
no. He sends me a script.
Hmm.
He sends me a script, and his scripts are sometimes they have follow-up documents aside, like here is a gallery of pictures, and here is a huge explanation about architecture, and blah 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 blah. And other times is literally two sentences for 6 pages, and he tells me this character goes there, and he does that, and that's it. That's everything. Um,
But then you have to put a
I
lot of your own storytelling into it. So there's a lot of gaps to fill in. And if you're spanning 6 pages from a few sentences, there's a lot of you in that. So while you're being
doesn't
true, no,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm always following. I'm always following what when where he's sending me. The most important thing is that he gives me the emotional
sure.
goal of sort. What should we feel? And I offer solution. You know, and then he actually writes the final text, and then he kills me. When he writes the final text, it's far above my expectations, far above anything that I could expect at the first moment, because
Hmm.
I love the guy. He's great. We have like four projects planned for next years, so we are going to continue to play and to, to work together,
In the
you know.
same kind of genre, or are they further stories with the 20th century book, or are they brand new
No,
projects you
no,
guys are
no,
working?
no, no, no. No. We have few projects, and projects that are different tonally, and I'll have to transform. I'll have to reinvent and do something different and do something completely new for some of them. But I have this endless trust that he is going to deliver. He's going to do his part, So
Hmm.
I'm completely at peace, he says zombies, I'm okay, no problem. Let's go zombies. We are going there, you know. I know he has my back. It's going to make sense. It's going to be a great story.
Yeah, there's someone who got on your commission list. Max Machado said that. But it sounds like you have a lot of people that love 20th Century Men, and in the chat. I mean, I think that yeah, where is it? Highlighted this. Skip and Todd said 20th Century Men is the best crafted comic out right now. True work of art. And
Thank you very much.
that's something we stress on the channel, a lot. That it is art, and a lot of people look at them as funny books and things, but as art collectors, I mean, and, of course, that's who most of our audience is here. I mean, we really appreciate it for the work that goes into it, the storytelling through the images as well as through the writing, and I think we're really in a wonderful period of comics and art collecting, because I think the medium is finally being realized as a true art form. And I think it's given a lot of creators freedom to really explore different ways of telling these stories. And it sounds like that's kind of the relationship that you have with him.
Yeah, uh, and it's really good time. I've seen so many great comics and people that I admire. I'm a little bit late with my reading list. It's a little bit difficult to get the actual comics here. And but doesn't matter. Uh, I'll I'll pick up. I met some of my peers.
Well, when you were in New York, who, I mean, besides seeing Richard Corbin art and McAvoy art, I mean, artistically, who was the biggest, thrill for you to actually meet when you went to New York City and New York Comic Con? Because there's a
Oh,
lot of artists that attended that
I,
show.
I met I met Felipe Andrade guy.
Oh yeah, I love his
Oh,
work.
yeah, I love Felipe. Felipe is great guy, great guy. And I met Tanaya. Danny Strips.
Danny,
You know,
yeah.
she does this Arkham City comic with Dan Waters, I think.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I met some people, and I must tell you, my first time in America, uh, I was really surprised. I must tell you this: the people are fantastic. I was staying with Dennis in
Hmm.
Brooklyn. Dennis lives in Brooklyn, and first thing that I didn't absolutely expect is that late at night, while walking out on the street, you meet a person and he nods and says hi, and it was like beautiful, like this is great. But
Hmm.
you that's what happens in the small places. You don't expect that in New York. You expect that in some village, where you meet people. But
Right.
it's good, and everybody was so positive and nice, and there's this youthful, uh, good energy. I don't know. People were really great, really nice people. That's
So,
okay. It's stupid to say that I didn't expect that. Of course, I didn't expect anything, but this was like I noticed, like, phew,
right. Well, you
really
go
good.
into something like that with a few preconceived ideas of what the experience is going to be like, and well, so I'm glad that it wasn't, that it was positive and it was good. Uh, but yeah, New York Comic Con is one of my favorite shows because it does attract a lot of European artists and creators. Because yeah, I went to San Diego for many years in a row, but you just don't get the same artists that you'd get at New York Comic Con. Specifically getting to see more European artists there. So I'm glad that was your first big Comic Con.
Yeah,
It
I'm coming back next year for sure, for sure. You won't get rid of me anymore.
you're coming back all the time. Well, that's exciting. So with the book right now, you said you're working on the fifth book,
Fifth episode, yeah,
fifth
yeah,
episode. Yep.
yeah.
And how many books are planned? Do-
Six,
Six. Oh, well
six.
then.
So we are almost done. There'll be something new. Dan is going to kill me for spoilers, but I have to show you this. Oh yeah, it's so
You might
white.
have to tip it. Hold it a little closer to the screen. I want to be able to see it. I'm gonna make you go full screen here if you can. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
Many flowers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, but the size of that alone. But how much time did you put into a page like that when you're doing all the art?
I work long hours. Uh, I work long hours, but I'm not complaining. I love to do this. Um I'm not. I'm not. I'm coming from animation. I've spent a long time doing animation, doing other kind of jobs. I was working in uh, restoring churches. I'm a,
Oh,
I'm a yeah, I'm a fellow that they let use power tools on historical monuments. And I was actually doing everything that was possible to do with art. I was in theater and places like that. But I don't know. At one moment, it was in Ciao Yoni. Um, it
You have a
was
lot of friends in the audience tonight.
it's impossible for me to sit anymore in front of computer,
Hmm.
because my fingers were numb, and I was having a constant
From all
vertigo. You
yeah,
know, everything is rolling around. So I had to change something. You know, so I decided that I'm going to draw one drawing, and that one drawing is going to be good, and I'm not going to draw 175 of almost the same one. So like 10 years ago I started to move toward the comics,
hmm.
and that's how I met Dennis. That's how I met Dennis.
But did
And
but you said that you knew him before you guys really got into the plot and the stories, and or you thought that he would be able to write something like this. So, but he was interested in comics. That was part of your relationship.
I had this, of course, how you start your career in comics. You start with sprawling epic, that has like 45 characters
Hmm.
and 500 episodes planned and blah 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 blah. That's something that I was doing. And Dennis came out of nowhere, and he offered me some of his text, and I think that I was kind of rude at the moment, and I said, no. And then we didn't speak for like 4 or 5 years. And after 4 years, 5 years, I think, he contacted me and he said, "Okay, what is happening with your sprawling epic? Where are you?" And I was like, I'm getting there. What's going on with you? And he sent me the new writing.
Hmm.
Something happened to him in the meantime, because suddenly it was emotion, it was a voice. Okay, the way I see it, the writing part, there's this machine part of writing. Everything has to be to follow some kind of logic. This happens and then this and then blah 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 blah. That's the basic. You have to have story.
Right.
That leads somewhere. But the most important part is the voice, uh, the writer, the sentence, the style. When you start to read, and when that part works, suddenly it's interesting.
It
And
sounds like your process with you're getting the story, and then you're going in and doing the artwork, and then he's really coming back in and kind of putting words to your images too. So it's a true collaboration. I mean, you had where you're really influencing some of the things that he probably writes, and probably is inspiring him to modify some of the dialogue that he was expecting to do and whatnot. I mean, I think that's a lot of trust that you're both putting in each other. That you've got the plot, and when you turn over the art, you're really relying on him to come to kind of pull it all together. And it sounds like you're always impressed.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's how it goes. Well, uh, it's usually we artists, we guys, we sit and draw, and we spend a ton of time drawing. That's that's true. That's it. But this working part is it's working. It's not somebody sits and vomits out, the first draft, the first draft.
Hmm.
It's what happens is what he builds up after that, and then it's his master of you know he's I'm watching his scripts, he's polishing the sentences, polishing the story, change. He has like seven variation of same line, like, are we going to do it like this and or that, like that, and it's beautiful. I mean, I'm talking a lot about him, but
No. I'm enjoying it. I really am.
uh,
Earlier, I know you have more art beside you. Cam said maybe you'll show us your 20th Century Men cover with Spawn on it.
oh, coming on. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
He's trying to encourage you to show off a few things.
Uh, Here it is.
Here, let me switch over here. Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Uh,
It's great. See, I love the color palette on there. That is beautiful.
yeah, yeah. Oh well, man, you should see the process. Somewhere in the middle of the process, I had an accident. I spilled some water, so I had to wash everything, literally wash. Joe, that is wash everything with cloth. It was disaster, absolute disaster. And I started over after like 6 hours. I started over. Yes, that's the information. This will be variant cover for episode 5. Uh,
Wow.
I'm
So,
always forgetting.
so
This
is it right out? It'll be out in December. Is that what Dennis is saying?
Yeah, yeah. It will be out in December.
Ignacio wanted you to explain the gesso process. So
No, that's
no,
secret.
that's a secret.
No. Ignacio is my friend, and uh, they ask me some question that they already know the answer,
Of course.
and they let me hold, my big speech for 1 hour, blah blah blah.
They're
How
leading you on a little bit. They're trying to help.
when you put, this bone glue, and then you put gesso, and then it connects on molecular, blah 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 blah. They know how to pull my strings,
Hmm.
So no.
So on those boards, so you actually gesso the boards, or is it a side joke that I'm just not getting at all?
No, just
You got
this,
it,
this.
because it clearly, there's a lot of paint going on these boards. So all right.
Okay, it's a chalk based pasta.
Mhm.
You protect canvas, or you protect
Yeah.
paper.
No,
It
I
makes
went to art school. Stefan,
yeah. So,
I was a painting and a sculpture major, so I know
okay,
I know all about it. I used
no,
to see, but when
don't.
I would gesso boards back in the day, I usually did it if I knew that I wanted a certain technique on it, I would kind of leave the gesso a little heavier in spots just because I knew how I was going to be painting on it, and so that's why I thought I was going to learn a secret from you about how you gesso the boards. It's-
You see what they do to me? They let
uh-huh.
me talk like 2 hours and blah blah blah, and they know how to use it. So it doesn't matter. They're just teasing me.
They are giving out. Elizabeth said, "We love listening to you ramble," and Ignacio said, "We love it when you preach art to us."
Well, I can show you.
Sounds almost like you have your own cult to a certain degree, but it's a good one because they love art and they love listening to you talk about it.
Friends, it's friends. Uh, I wanted to show this one. This one was good. Uh, this is Wolf Rider. There's a little orc here. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's hard to see the deep. That's gorgeous. So I wish we had scans of these. That is amazing. Now, what is
So
that for?
that was a anthology, a breakneck anthology. This is a story called Meat by Craig Dawson. Craig Dawson and me, we made this story about orcs. Because you always have elves and wizards and stuff like that, but we wanted to show the other side. So I did this little thing. What do I have here? Uh,
I feel like you have this giant stack of art beside you.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about what I'm going to show you. So I'll show you. I'll show the stuff that I have prepared.
Okay.
This is important thing. This is this is how we learn about comics. Okay, uh, when we were growing up,
Hmm.
this magazine that was coming out uh, every week, and inside you have Alfonso Font. One episode of Alfonso Font.
Sure.
You have Corto Maltese, Hugo Pratt. You
Hmm.
know. And you have like this summer you have like bunch of best comics that you can find. They're all black and white. That's true, but doesn't matter.
No, not at all. I mean, most collectors prefer to see the black and
next
white
week
version.
next week is Alex Toth. Then some random Thor, you know out of blue. You have Thor, one episode of Thor. and
Right.
and and then Frank Robbins, Johnny Hazard.
Wow. But they really ran the gamut of what they put in those. So you never knew what you
so
were going to get book to book.
so we are every week we are having this wonderful comics salads.
Hmm.
Different things from different some French comics, some American comics, some you know and Blueberry on the cover. Uh, oh, doesn't
But
matter.
that's amazing that they would just it's that diverse that they
Yeah, yeah,
and you never know what was it was going to contain. That's crazy. But
yeah, yeah. And you follow little bit of everything all of the time. Uh, what I'm doing is I'm actually studying, how somebody draws, and this is my loot stuff that I brought from New York. This is Corbin, and I'm going to devour this. Uh, I'm
what's
going
the titles on the books? I couldn't
to
read them.
what?
What was the titles on those? Oh, okay. I couldn't see that one. All right, now I see
Spirits
it.
of the Dead,
Spirit of the Dead, and yeah, by Richard Corbin. Awesome.
Shadows on the Grave.
I love
Uh,
Corbin. I actually had someone gifted me a piece of Richard Corbin art last week, so I feel very fortunate. I know. I mean, I have wanted a piece of Corbin art forever, and I'm so happy I finally have a piece.
I um, I'm friends. I think I'm friends with Igor Korda, and
Hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, love his work.
he is wonderful artist, and we share this appreciation of Corbin, both of
Hmm.
us. I can see that, that yeah, yes, this love for this beautiful drawing. Uh, what did I what did I have here? I have I have ton of art here.
I know.
Okay,
I'm sure.
uh, this is one beautiful page.
Yeah. Yeah. Close it. Wow. Very
Uh,
it's so painterly. That's what's amazing about your art. I mean, it's so subtle. You're getting a lot of just such variation in these pieces. With, I mean, in that piece, it's very, the tones aren't very dramatic. There's not a lot of contrast in there, but it looks absolutely stunning.
Mm. Well, yeah, I'm sorry that we don't have these images that we can put on the screen right now.
Well,
Maybe.
when we do the next interview, we will. There.
Okay, I'm available wherever you want me. No problem. You can see that it's easy to talk with me. You just start me, and I'm not
Give you a
stopping.
topic and we run with it. Well, I mean, maybe when are you starting the next project? I'm just curious. I mean, you've clearly talked a bit about what the next project is after.
Next project. What do you mean next project? But next project with Dennis.
Yeah, yeah.
I must say, Dennis is slow writer, you
Uh,
know, and and I'll give him a couple of months after we finish 20th Century Man. In the meantime, I'm going to do this steampunk Santa story with Yori Hag.
oh wow.
Yeah, we met this summer. He was here in Croatia to visit me. I exposed his very pale Finnish ass to Croatian sun, and it was killer. Uh, and we went through
And he
through the
still wanted to work with you after you did that.
yeah we went through the story. We
Yeah.
went. We know exact number of pages. What is going to be there, and we are going to do that in this little period between next project with Dennis,
Hmm.
and and I'm everything that is in front of me. I'm looking forward to it. It's all great. I'm just can't wait to see 20th Century Man as a book. To see
Right.
it all together. And
Well, like you
and
said, but that's how those books, the trades that are hardcover or whatnot. That's what you were used to getting. So to finally get your story published that way, I mean, that's got to be thrilling.
yeah, 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 yeah,
What do you think
yeah.
when they do that? Do you think they'll put like put in some extra like work that was maybe character designs, those sorts of things? I mean, do you think they'll put some
What,
extra
what do
art
you
in there?
mean character design?
Yeah, that would be nice to see.
What do you mean? What kind of work? I
Well, like
don't.
just roughs, like the thing, like the that went into developing the characters, things like that. I mean, I know that it would be neat to see some of those pieces also make it into the hardcover if they get there. You don't
Yeah,
have any control over that, though. Huh?
we had like 6 episodes, and it's a finished story.
Hmm.
It's from the beginning to the end, but so many stuff we had to put aside. I'm just can't wait to do spin-offs because we have material for spin-offs. Absolutely, it's already done. I know like 5 6 stories that we should do sometimes, not now, not very soon. Oh
When are
yeah,
you, what's
here
a
I will do another one. This is our main character.
yeah, going back to that? Wow, that's gorgeous.
Mhm.
And again, the size of the art. I mean, that's just great. I mean,
I'm showing
I'm
you
so
most
impressed
of
by
it.
the fact that you're working on that scale on all of those pieces.
I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, and I'm not. My eyesight is not the best it ever was. So I prefer to
Mm.
have some room, for drawing, and I like details. I like to have rich textures and light. I like light, because I'm a painter by trade.
Hmm.
So the light is important.
Well, I think that you were mentioning the Raboy pieces before too. I mean, his strips were rather large too. I mean, and it's probably kind of the same sensibility, just having that space, a lot of space to work, and put in
Mhm.
as much detail or as little detail as you want. Yeah, that's great.
My first my first comic book. It wasn't my first comic book. I was reading Italian comic books,
Hmm.
but when I was 7 years old, I got these books. I'll show you. Uh,
Oh, Prince, of course.
Prince
Yeah,
Valley.
Harold Foster worked really large. I mean, his originals are like 3 feet by 4 feet. I mean, they're massive. I mean,
Yeah,
when you see one, you just in shock the scale that Foster worked in.
yeah. That's just beautiful. Just
It is, and that's how he was able to achieve so much great
this
detail in his
is
pieces
this
because
is
he
my
worked
first
so
love.
yeah
You know,
so.
this is my first love regarding comics. First author that I know by name. I know. I want to draw like this guy. I
Hmm.
was copying the horses and everything, on my school books, and you know, I wanted to draw like this always.
Hmm.
So this is like most important art ever for me, Harold Foster.
That's I can't say that I've talked to many artists who've picked Foster as as somebody to kind of draw inspiration from, but that's saying a lot, for him to be the person that I got to I'll have to send some photographs because I was at a museum in Ohio in the summer, and they actually had many Foster pieces in their collection, and I took photographs of them, and it's just amazing. You'll see the curator holding the artwork, and it's literally, it's just amazing. And they had flat files of them, so
Please
I'll
send me.
email them to Cam so you can take a look at them. They're so impressive.
Yes, please send me photos. I really want to see how they look live. Uh, at New York City Comic Con, there is one little piece, like one panel,
Like, right,
and
yeah, because he cut those up a lot too, and somebody cut them up and they sold them, gave them away, the panels. But no, these were the entire Sundays. So yeah, no, I will email those photos to Cam this weekend for you. I put the link on the description for the show as far as how people can buy some of your artwork over on InkyKnuckles.com. I'm going to stick it in the chat one more time. That sounded kind of crass, didn't it? But I'm putting the link to Inky Knuckles in the chat. So anybody who wants to see the artwork, which I couldn't pull up on screen because of this being a different computer, but you should definitely check out more of Stipan's work because it is absolutely gorgeous. And I know Cam was really excited that we were able to kind of put this chat together today to show off.
Cameron,
Uh,
Cameron, Cameron is my exclusive representative. I work with him and I love him. He's just I'm happy.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
Cam's
Go there and see and buy everything. Uh,
Max Machado is asking if you finished any commissions, maybe a ghostwriter.
that's the one that I didn't finish yet. That's true. I didn't finish that Ghost Rider. Uh, I did one Ghost Rider. I don't know. No, never mind. Very soon, very soon. I have to send episode 5, and then I'm going to make best
You're
Ghost
back
Rider.
on the commissions. Well, Cameron also mentioned that there's a couple monster pieces in his exhibitor booth during Comic Art Live this weekend. So anybody who's interested in seeing some pieces over there, just head back into the exhibitor hall. You can search on Stipan's name, and you'll pull the artwork up that way, or just go into Inky Knuckles' booth and you can see it. One's already been sold, So that's great. You're selling
Cool.
artwork while you're making artwork. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I don't think that I'm very good in making this size of drawings. Uh, this is like A4, you know.
Right.
That's too small for me. Really, it's just constraining. I think that I'm going to draw bigger for everybody. I already do. Somebody asks for A4, and I'm brazen enough to just double the size
Hmm.
on my own, without asking. What can I do? It's just too tiny. And
Yeah, I should actually
and
know.
I'm,
I should mention that. Yeah, I know on Cam's website, you're also taking commissions as well, and there's commission samples up there. So anybody interested in signing up for a commission, yeah, you more than should. You should go over to inkyknuckles.com and do that
I'm
because you need more
enjoying.
work.
You know, uh, well, I think that it may not be big surprise to you, but I wasn't really reading X-Men.
Hmm.
That just wasn't very interesting. When it was coming out, and the age I was, it was like it just I wasn't attracted by that. And recently somebody asked uh, Magneto.
Yeah, that was. I think that's pictured as a commission sample on your page
Yeah,
over at Knuckles
and
too.
I drew one, and I said, this is okay, but I'm going to draw another one, and then I draw another one, and I offered to a guy, you pick one that you like. But after that, I started to read a comic, and I discovered something new. Suddenly I started to read, X-Men in my old age, and okay, good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So is that a work of art on the wall behind you? I know somebody mentioned they were asking. Yeah, is that
This thing is I'm trying to paint some shallow water in on the coast, and it's not done yet. But I have other paintings behind and blah blah blah.
so you've got
I
a lot of artworks in process all the time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's all I do. I I draw, I paint, you know, and I'm not really selling these things. My biggest concern is who has the empty wall where I can put it.
Mhm.
And I already found the place for this one. And strange enough, it's a Deniz Camp bedroom.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to send it to him.
Deniz Camp is, I'm sure, very excited to get that. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So hey, we hit our 1 hour mark, Stephen. This has been a lot of fun. We do have to do this again, and definitely when I'm not in my daughter's workspace. I mean, I feel like I've had this halo around my head this whole show. I apologize for that, but yeah, we definitely got to do this again uh, sometime in the, I guess maybe in the spring. I'd love to have you back on and talk more. I mean, this has been a lot of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's pleasure, and it's honor, and I like your work. I
Thank you.
I I'll be happy to come back again and act crazy.
Well, the thing is, we'll do a proper panel where I can show your artworks and get some good
Yes,
scans and
yes, yes.
yeah,
Yes, we need more imagery.
You
Next,
showed a fair amount, and you know, but I know we can do a better job next time. But everybody, you are a madman, I guess, to a lot of people. That's their view. But you're a brilliant madman. That's a good thing. No, that is a good thing. No, it's I wouldn't delve too much on it. I think.
I wanted to. I had some kind of plan. I wanted to mention some people.
Oh,
I wanted to mention Aditya Birika, our third guy,
mhm.
and say that's that I love him, you know. I wanted to say thank you to Will Maxwell Prince, uh, that is doing this Ice Cream Man comic.
Oh yeah, that's been really
Will
well received.
Will was a guide and mentor, and he was helping us all this time, in our process, and saying,
Hmm.
what to take care about, what to worry about, and sometimes he told us, that we don't have to worry about this thing, blah blah blah. It was really really precious, to have him uh, on our side. I don't know, but I won't make that into now into thanks everybody. And next time we'll talk again.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I've gotten to do a panel finally with one of Cam's artists because I've been wanting to do it for a while. I just never these shows just kind of happen, rather quickly as far as pulling the panels together. And I was like, Cam, is there anybody that I could talk to? And he offered you up right away, so I was thrilled to have the chance to talk to you today.
So
So,
great.
but let's plan on doing something in the springtime and
All
doing a proper panel interview with you. And I'm going to send you those Hal Foster artwork photos that I took over the summer. I know you're going to love them, just from the scale, and it's just going to blow your mind. Absolutely, you're going to because I had never seen anything. I'd seen Fosters before, but like you, I saw a lot of pieces where they were just the panels or smaller pieces. Never the earliest pieces that he did. So I know you're going to enjoy those.
Few months back, somebody on Twitter said that when he was sending originals to Philadelphia or somewhere to be prepared for printing, they would scan them, make the plates for
Hmm.
printing, and then throw away originals in the garbage. Uh, that's like, no.
Well,
That's
that was the problem. I mean, even back in the early Marvel DC days, when they made when they got the production art, when they got the artwork transferred to a piece of acetate, or when they put it on whatever the heck they printed it on, the art wasn't important. They only wanted to save those pieces of production art because that's what they figured they were going to use again if they ever reprinted the book. So they didn't care about the originals. I mean, that's why we lost so many pieces of original comic art back in the day, because they felt that the production pieces were more important than and the stats than the actual original art. So go figure. I'm glad we don't view it that way today.
I'm going to watch your show from now on, because I was watching like few episodes, like 5, 6 episodes, but preparing for this. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to see what's going on, because I rather hastily, without thinking, accepted this invitation. Oh, yes, and later I was like, what are you doing?
What did you do? Well,
What going to talk about? I have like 3 episodes out. There is nothing, nothing I can say, but I'm learning a lot, and this pages that you are showing, original art,
mhm,
people collections. That's precious. It's beautiful.
it is.
So
No, I
You,
feel very fortunate. We work with collectors that really want people to see the artwork they collect because they love it. Not all art collectors like to show off their collections, whether they're fine art collectors or illustration art collectors. Um, so I'm proud of the fact that there are so many people who do like to, show off what they own because they care about the artwork and it should be seen. It's really special. And so I've been doing this for almost 20 years, not the live streams, but working on the main site. And yeah, I don't take any of those days for granted. It's a real honor for me to get to kind of put a place for people to share their art, their love of original art collecting, illustration art collecting, comic art collecting, fine art painting. I mean, it's all, yeah, it's. I feel really lucky, and then and because of all that, I get to talk with an artist like yourself too. So
and
it's
doing a great job, really.
thank you.
So you have a new viewer here.
All the way in Croatia. I love it. I appreciate that. All right, well, we're gonna end the panel now, Stipan, but we will be talking more, and definitely have another thing we can do in the spring. So I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in to our panel today. It was a lot of fun, and I think we got to look at some amazing artwork. And I put the links out there for everybody to go over to Inky Knuckles so you can see better scans of artwork.
Go see Inky Knuckles.
Yes, exactly. And check out Cam's booth this weekend at the show. And there's another piece of some monster art that Stipan's got over there as well. So, all right, everybody, we're actually going to be off for about an hour, and then we'll have another panel at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Doug Mankey, and Ken Carson will be one of the moderators on that. There'll be some art for sale, so it'll be a little bit different for the remainder of the night. We have 3 consecutive panels with art for sale as well. So take an hour break, and we'll see you again soon.